Hello. Good morning, everybody. I forgot I told you all I was going to start getting on here more and doing this more. So, how was everybody's holiday? We had a good old holiday, man. I always love it when shit goes off without a hitch. You know what I'm saying? It's been like that here lately, past few years. You know, seems like at one point in time in my life, there was always a problem with everything that I did, you know? Like any family gathering, with anything that we would do, there would always be something wrong or some kind of drama or some kind of bullshit. Man, the past few years, shit is just so smooth. It's unreal. So, had a good Thanksgiving. Man, I can't believe, look, check this out. For those of you who follow me on Facebook, last year I was so upset when Christmas was over. And I remember thinking, dude, it's going to be a whole year before I get to see this Christmas tree again. So I left myself a little note. We were packing it up and putting it in the box. And I wrote a little note. How much has the world changed? Because I'm thinking, man, it's going to be a year. And we pulled it out yesterday and put it up. And I'm like, that was a year ago? Dude, like, I shit you not, that literally feels like it was maybe 2 months ago, you know? And my mind is blown. It literally scares me how fast it's been going by, you know? Just flying by. And I know I've mentioned that many times in these little chats before, and it's getting faster. I know I would say it last year when I would come on here, man, time's flying. We would talk about this all the time. It's getting faster and faster. It's freaking me the fuck out, man. I'm not even playing. It sounds like I'm being dramatic. I know, but I'm not. I'm being dead serious. It's freaking me the fuck out. Anyway, we got a couple of you in here. What's up, y'all? Good morning, Shanna. I told y'all I was going to try to make an effort to get on here and do this more often. So this is Saturday morning, and we do have guests over, but because I told you when Kelly came over, I didn't get on here and chat because I didn't know what her sleeping habits were. So my in-laws are over, and yeah, they get up early in the morning. So I don't think I'm gonna bug them. Anyway, what y'all up to, man? What y'all up to? What you up to? Me, this is just my normal. Well, other than this right here, my normal morning routine. Still getting my head on straight. I guess I may as well go ahead and open so I can look behind me and see when the sun comes up. Yes, happy holidays. Dude, I hate to sound cheesy and corny, but this is my favorite time of year, man. Like I'm one of those people. I'm one of those people because when I was a kid, throughout my childhood, the holidays were fucking awesome. You know, I would always hear people say, "I hate Christmas," and I'm like, "You hate Christmas? What the fuck?" You hear people say that, and I guess maybe they just had like a horrible childhood. I mean, there were certain things about my childhood that weren't that great. I was bullied a lot. I was one of those kids. I never had any friends. I was bullied, picked on in school and shit. But I'm gonna tell you what, dude, the holidays were popping, fucking popping, dude. We always did the big old Thanksgiving dinner, Christmas. You know, Christmas Eve, my whole family would come together and gather at my house, which was my grandparents' house. And then, we would wake up the next day, do the whole Christmas thing. It was just always fucking amazing. And I would always get that warm, fuzzy feeling, I was one of those kids. It's probably just because of the way I was raised. See, the reason why I think why I'm not like your average millennial is because I wasn't raised by the boomers. I was raised by the silent generation, you know? So I think I had some different values instilled into my head. So Anyway, yes, Thanksgiving was awesome. Yes, yes, it was awesome. I don't know, honestly, I swear I really have. I've heard many people say that they hate Christmas, and the only thing that I can think is that you must have had a rough childhood or something, you know? And I think a lot of people did, you know? Like, if you had a real rough childhood, maybe your parents couldn't afford it, I guess, you know? I'm thinking back, I didn't grow up poor. I wasn't poor, but I wasn't I mean, okay, so me growing up, I grew up with my grandparents. My grandfather was a chemical engineer at GE, and my grandmother was a nurse, you know? So I guess we had a household income of, oh, maybe 1,500 bucks a week, maybe, which in the 90s, I guess was pretty good, pretty damn good. You know, now it's nothing, but in the 90s, 1,500, $2,000 a week was good. That was good old money, you know? So, yeah, I didn't growing up as a kid, I didn't struggle. I didn't. No, I didn't. I didn't start struggling until I became an adult, you know? I think I was a little bit too spoiled, you know? That's why I'm trying to make it a really me and Leah are making it a really strong point to because I'm taking all the things that I think should have been done to me growing up, and I'm trying to instill that on my kids. You know, they have to do chores. You know, they do chores and they get an allowance. If they want something, if they want something, you got to work for it. You know, we're pretty hardcore on that. We don't just spoil them, and it's cool. Like, oh, you want something? Okay, well, you got to do something. You gotta clean the bathrooms and do a litter box or you know, something like, "Oh, I want this. Can I get this?" Yeah, you can either wait for your allowance because we have these chores that they do, you know, and, you can either wait for your allowance or we can pick you out something to do, and they gotta work for it, you know what I'm saying? So, that's what should have been done to me when I was a kid, and it wasn't. I was spoiled as hell. Spoiled as hell. I didn't understand the concept of money. It made no sense to me. Because when I was a kid, my grandparents always wrote checks, you know? So all I see is, well, we go to the store, I can grab whatever I want and throw it in the cart. And then when we're going up to the cash register, my granny pulls out this little book and writes something on it and hands it to her. And then we walk out the door. It's all I know, you know? And I was spoiled. I could have whatever I wanted, you know? And so by the time I was in my early 20s, I was not in the right place mentally, I don't think, you know, so that's why I struggled a lot. I was really, really spoiled, didn't understand the concept of saving money and stuff like that, and it just, you know, it all went downhill from there, and anyway, I don't remember what the hell I was talking about, but yeah, man, I didn't even have to do chores either growing up. That's another reason why when I was in my 20s, I got real messy. It was real messy because I never had to do nothing as a kid, you know? If my room was all messy, it just somehow magically was cleaned every day. If I made a mess, poof, the magical mess fairy would come sprinkle pixie dust on it, and poof, it would get cleaned up. It was just how that's how my granny was, you know. She didn't bitch, she didn't complain. You know, you never. Uh, she just cleaned the house, you know, without saying anything, just like that was her civic duty or something, you know. And I didn't even notice it. I don't know what it takes to keep a house clean, so you know what I'm saying? Just little shit like that, man. Little shit like that. Mm. Yeah, yeah. So I don't know. Oh, I remember what we were talking about. We're talking about people that hate Christmas. Yeah, I don't know either. That's the only thing I can guess. The only thing that I can guess. Okay, I don't know. I don't know why somebody would hate it. I don't know. Now, no, I don't um subscribe to the beliefs around Christmas. Like I'm much more if we want to go down that route, I'm much more like the very, very traditional because it's all just a big old mix of different pagan things with the Christmas tree and whatnot, and the pentacle on top. You know, can't really see it from here. I got a real, actual pentacle. This is what it is on top of the tree. But anyway, yeah, I don't know. It's just the feeling, the vibe. Around that time of year. I love walking into the stores and seeing all the Christmas decorations and they're playing the Christmas songs. Dude, I just love it, man. I love it. Love it. I love it. Feels so good. Well, I would say you gotta do something to replace whatever that trace, whatever happened. Can't let somebody have that kind of power over you, dude. No. No, no, giving too much power away like that. And I get it. I get it. It can take a while, but you got to be like, nope, you ain't going to have this kind of power over me. Your ex, meaning this person's not even a part of your life anymore. That's an ex. And you're giving somebody who's not even a part of your life anymore that power over you. Man, we can't be doing that. It can take a while. It can take a while. I think the longest it's taken me to heal from trauma was 7 years, but it took me, that's the most traumatic thing I ever experienced. It took me 7 years to heal from, but we got to do it. We got to do it. I would say that as long as we have that little voice deep down inside that's saying, okay, yes, I know I'm hurt. I know I'm traumatized, but I know I need to heal from this. As long as we have that little voice in there, that if you just let that little voice live and feed that little voice life, we have to heal from this. It'll grow and it'll grow and it'll grow. And eventually you will experience the healing that you need. You know what I mean? But anywho. So yeah, man. It's that time of year again. The only thing that kind of bums me out a little bit is that we live in Vegas. So you don't really get to experience the seasons the way you do anywhere else. It does get chilly. It does get chilly in around this time of year. You can smell in the air, but like the because we do have some trees here, so like where a place where you have a lot of nature around fall, the trees dying, you can smell that smell in the air. You get that a little bit here, but not nearly as intense as other places. So it's strange too. I was telling Leah about it. Excuse me. How weird it is to like go around on Halloween in a deserty type of environment and seeing, because like on Halloween, I grew up like any other place, like what you see on the movies, and seeing people with a cactus in their yard and palm trees. It's just strange seeing Halloween decorations in the desert. It's weird. And she goes, oh, well, you mean that stuff in the movies is real? And I'm like, well, yeah, that's how I grew up. She says, oh, I thought that was just in the movies. I thought everybody had palm trees and a cactus in the front yard or something. I'm like, no, not really. Other than that, though, anyway, I'm just super pumped about the holidays. Let's get a candle going. Can y'all hear me clearly? You hear me good and clear? Sorry, I got the froggy ass throat. Let's get the candle going. It's nice and loud in my headphones, but I don't know if y'all can hear me that good. Can't promise I'm going to be on here for a full hour. I might. I don't know. Got to wake Leah up at 7:30, and the in-laws are leaving to go back to California today. So, anyway. Anywho. Oh. Yep, man. We got to do that healing, bro. I tell you what, we gotta sometime we gotta make, I don't care what it takes. We gotta make life all about the healing journey. That's just the way, it just seems like that's the way this life is set up. You have these experiences, and either A, you're going to let those experiences drive your life, or you're going to drive your life with your desire to heal and evolve, you know? And it's tricky, it's weird. It's like, well, why can't I just be? Because we're in the 3D, 4D human game, you know? And the game just isn't set up like that. In order for us to like really exist in this thick, dense dimension, you sign up to come here and experience trauma. We have to, you know? Some people worse than others, depending on what you signed up for, but we have to have our frequencies lowered, you know? So it's a painstaking process climbing out of that, you know? It's not really going to be a switch we can flip overnight. We're going to have to do it generation after generation after generation after generation, you know, to where the traumatic things that we have to experience, like typically mainly in childhood, is going to be less and less and less and less, to the point to where, yes, when a human is born on planet Earth, yes, you can just be, you know. But I don't think any of us right now on the planet today, I don't think any of us are existing without some kind of traumatic baggage that we're carrying, you know? We all have something that we're carrying. So I would say that if you're a human on planet Earth right now, in this moment, you have something that needs to be healed. Something. And see, here's the funny thing, too. I think that we should call it something different. I think we should call it something different, because I think calling it healing is it could be misleading, because when we hear the word healing, we think of like what happens when you heal from a physical injury, you know? So if I fall and break my arm, then like the doctor wraps it up in a cast and I just wait, right? Or if I, like the other day, I cut my finger, you can still kind of see it a little bit. See a little cut? I just wait and it heals itself. So when we talk about like emotional, spiritual, psychological healing and stuff like that, we can't just wait. You know, that's the opposite of what you want to do. You know, we can't just sit and wait until the pain goes away. Doesn't quite work like that. You know, we have to actually get in there and actually, I mean, if you think about it, if you really understand energy and how energy really behaves, it's actually a really creative system that we've come up with here in this planet Earth game, to where it's actually just transformation and transmutation is all it is. You know, it's not gonna, it doesn't return back to what it was. Like if you get traumatized right now, you are never, ever gonna return back to what you were before the trauma happened, ever, period. You know, so you can either live with the trauma, or you can take the trauma and you can transmute it and turn it into something new. And that's the whole point of the game that we play here, is to actually take the energy and transmute it, make it, you know, transform it into something new. It's never going to go back to what it was, ever. You will never go back to what you were. So again, and I mean, even a physical wound, like a cut on your finger or something like that, it's not going to go back to exactly what it once was. It's going to be a scar. There's going to be something different there, you know? So I think what should we call it? What should we call it? I don't know if healing is the right word, because it's really not. It's transformation and transmutation. So I don't know. I vote to call it something different than healing. That's just me, though. You know, but you know, you'd want to name it something that if everybody hears it, they're going to know what you're talking about. You know. Yeah. Evolution. Yeah. Yep. Evolution. Absolutely. Yeah. Evolution. Transmutation. That's why I call it. You hear me say energy transmutation so frequently, and that's the reason why. That's the reason why. Because I want to teach how to do it. You know, I want to teach the step-by-step process of how to go about healing and transforming and whatnot. And there's no one size fits all. There's not. That's the tricky part about it because everybody is so different. Everybody has such a different path and whatnot. But I do believe that there are a few key things that you can teach people that hopefully they can take that and apply it to anything and it will work. It may not produce the same result or be the exact same for everybody, but it will work, you know? And I don't know, you hear mainly you hear this kind of stuff mainly from motivational speakers, but when they talk about it, they're not talking about how to use this process to heal and recover from trauma. They're talking about how to use this same process for motivation. Have y'all ever listened to a motivational speaker? You know, they'll all tell you the same thing. And remember in that video that I posted yesterday, I mentioned David Goggins. He says the same thing. He was born and he was crazy, abusive household and, went through all this and whatnot. And he said, I use that as fuel for motivation. Well, I've heard many people talk about this same process. Dude, you can use that same process to heal from trauma. Same process. The same process. Because you will end up expressing gratitude for the experience. That's what will heal you. Is you have to figure out a way to express gratitude for the experience. I mean, how many people have you, because I used to always listen to near-death experiences, and so many people would say that when I was on the other side looking back, nothing was bad and nothing was good. Everything was amazing. All the traumas that I went through, all the horrible things from the other side looking at it, it's fucking awesome, you know? And I racked my brain with that. I'm like, how can that be? And now it makes sense because that's the point of the game. That's the point of the game. That's how you evolve and grow. Break something down and rebuild it. And then break it down again and then rebuild it again. And then break it down again and rebuild it again. Have you ever met anybody who is on a spiritual awakening journey who has had a nice life? Have you? Have you? Picture this, baby's born, brought up in a nice household, beautiful neighborhood, amazing parents, didn't experience any bullying, didn't have abusive parents, very supportive parents, flew through school, through college with their master's degree, got an amazing career, got married, had a beautiful marriage and, kids and all that. Are they on a spiritual awakening journey? No. Why not? Because they're comfortable. Why would you go through all that if your life is comfortable? Why would you evolve and change if you're comfortable? Change what? Why? Why would I change? You won't. You wouldn't. That's another reason why trauma and hardships are like almost inevitable in this life. When the trauma and when the hard stuff when it stops? When you learn how to keep climbing the mountain. That's when it stops. That's when the universe stops doing bad shit to you, is when you climb the mountain by yourself. Because we got this thing, we smack and hit rock bottom, then we climb up a little bit, and then we get up out of that, and then we're like, okay, I'm good now. No, you're not. No, you're not. Then the universe got to smack you down to rock bottom again. And you get up, you start climbing a little bit, and then you're like, okay, I'm good. And then you want to sit and chill. And it's like, no, bow, smack you back down to rock bottom again. And finally, those people who realize, oh, I got to keep climbing. No matter what, I got to keep climbing. No matter what, I'm never done. No matter what, I got to keep climbing. So you're constantly searching. You're actually searching for something to transform, some way to keep evolving. And that's when you can't say that nothing bad is ever going to happen to you, but you all know that you've at least gone through that cycle in your life where it just keeps happening over and over and over and over. And people say, well, what am I doing to deserve this? What you're doing is you're sitting and chilling and not doing nothing. We've been misled. And the goal is not to just make it to this little finish line and just sit and relax and chill. No, the goal is evolution. If you are on planet Earth today, your duty is to keep evolving and keep growing. And if you won't do it yourself, the universe will make you so fucking uncomfortable that you have no other choice. See what I'm saying? So this is why it's so important that we have to keep, I don't care. Even if you get to a point where everything's good in your life, you know, finally got that good career, finally in that good marriage, you know, all these things that everybody wants. Okay, well, what's next? Now what? Now what? Because if you just sit and chill, guess what? It's coming. It's coming. If you think you're just going to sit right there and chill, it's coming. Universe going to smack your ass down to rock bottom again. Got to keep climbing. Got to keep climbing. I don't care how good things get. Got to keep climbing. Got to keep going, you know, keep evolving, keep growing. That's when the bad things that happen to you in life will become less and less and less and less. That's when it happens, you know. But anywho, I know I don't remember my abusive childhood either. I really don't. Isn't that weird? That's weird. That's super weird. I was taken away from my parents, you know. I don't remember any of it. I don't remember. I was taken away from my parents. My sister, she was so badly beaten that the doctors were telling her that, telling my grandparents that she was going to be mentally retarded because she was almost beat to death when she was a baby, you know. And they did something experimental that they had never tried before, some kind of medication or therapy or something like that. And it fucking fixed her, you know. But I don't remember none of that either. I really don't. And like, from what I've come to the conclusion is that, you know, if I don't remember it, it's because I'm not supposed to. That's what I finally concluded. Because I've uncovered lots of memories. You know, I remember a lot more than I used to since I've meditated on it and all this stuff. But I really just don't remember the worst of it. And that's what I concluded. I think, you know what? If I don't remember it and I'm actually trying really hard to heal, grow, and evolve, and for some reason I just cannot dig that memory up, it's because I'm not supposed to remember it. I'm not supposed to. If I was supposed to, universe would let me remember it, you know? And maybe one day, maybe one of these days, that memory will surface. Maybe I wouldn't be able to handle it right now. I don't know. But trusting in the process, trusting that everything is actually happening exactly the way it's supposed to, you know? Yeah, that's what I say too. That's what I say too. It might be a good thing. Might be a good thing. Maybe I wouldn't be able to handle it. I don't know. Who knows, man? Who knows? Who knows? But I just have faith that no matter how scary things get sometimes, everything's working out. Everything's working out. That's an affirmation that I always give to myself if I find myself slipping into this like perpetual state of like nervousness and fear, you know, for no reason. Like if that ever tries to come creeping up into my mind, that's the affirmation that I say. Everything's working out better than I could have ever imagined. It's working out perfectly. It's working out better than I could have ever imagined. Tell myself that over and over. You tell yourself something like that until you start believing it, you know? So anywho, hang on a second, y'all. Hold up. Had to get my water. Anyway, I'm not going to be on here too much longer, but I want to get back into the routine of at least doing this again on the weekends. because it does wake my brain up better than just sitting and flipping through YouTube shorts or Facebook or something like that. This gets my brain woke up, gets me thinking. Anywho. Yeah, that's a difficult one to overcome too, Megan. But you know what's fun, I think, on the journey? Whenever you first embark on a healing, spiritual, or evolutionary journey, I there's this first stage of it that I like to refer to as the first hump. You know, when you've never done anything like this before, you've never gotten onto any kind of path, you've never done any kind of work to do, you know what I'm saying? I call it the first hump. And what that first hump is I don't know if I'm wasting my time. Do I keep climbing up this hill or am I wasting my time? Is this ever going to work? Is this real? Is this legit? Or am I just wasting my time? What happened there? I call that the first hump. And then once you get up over the first hump and you see what's on the other side and you're like, oh, that's when results start happening in your life. You start noticing positive changes. You know what I'm saying? And that's when I think it becomes kind of easy. Not easy, but you become more driven and motivated to keep going. It's like, oh, I see results. When you finally see results for the first time, it's like, yes, it works. So then that's when you're more motivated, more driven to just keep going, you know? I think that's the way we're wired, you know? I think so. Anyway. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think it is good. That is good because maybe maybe the universe doesn't want anybody in your life right now. Maybe. Maybe. These are the questions we always have to ask ourselves. Do I believe that the universe is an idiot? I don't. I don't. I believe that whatever is happening is beyond anything that I could comprehend. So if I take a look around at my life and I have no control over it, this is what it is. Just for that one moment. I'm not saying you don't have any control of your life. Just for that one moment. Is there anything I can do right now to change this? If not, then I'm trusting that it's supposed to be like this. Does that make sense? It does get deeper and more convoluted than that, but just to start off simple, if I just take a look around and I take a look at everything, I'm trusting that this is the way it's supposed to be. If there's nobody who's in my life, it's because it's not time for that yet, you know? Or if I'm stuck at this one income and no matter what I do, I seem to be stuck at this income. Maybe it's supposed to be like this. Now, this is, again, it gets slippery here because I'm not saying to just sit back and accept everything. I'm just saying to fall into that state of trusting the universe. We gotta somehow, some way fall into that state of trusting the process, you know? That makes sense? It always worked for me. It always worked for me. It gets much deeper than that, you know, but I'm always trying to find the right thing to say that makes it click, you know, trying to be that voice that I needed on my path. But we're all headed to a very good place. I'm not 100% convinced that we're not going to experience some kind of bullshit in the next 6 months, though. I'm ready for it. I'm ready. I'm prepared. I'm prepared. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. The kids. That's another thing that I'm thinking about too. You know, instilling because they're at that age now, man. They're at that age where they just want to be cool and fit in. You know, they're at that fucking age, and some of the stupid shit that they do, I'm always having to take a step back and think, okay, well, You're going to do what you're going to do. I can't stop that, but I can instill the right beliefs into your mind. I can at least plant the seeds. Think for yourself. You know, that's the biggest thing that I want my kids to be able to do is think for themselves. I don't want them growing up with that herd mentality that got to follow the crowd, got to fit in. As long as these people like me, oh my God, you know what I mean? It's like no, 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 no. That I really think that I don't know where I would be if these types of things were instilled in my head when I was a kid. You know, and manifestation. We're constantly coaching them on how things manifest, how to manifest things, and like if something bad happens, well, how did you manifest that? What were your thoughts? What were you thinking about? And stuff like that. So putting that in they're 10 and 11, putting that in their head right now, who knows? They could grow up and end up making an impact on the world that is incomprehensible. Anyway, though, probably about to head out of here in a couple of minutes. Just wanted to pop on and say what's up because I did say that I was going to start doing this more, and I just wanted to keep my word. I'm still sleepy, though. I think I need to go get me another coffee or a Red Bull or something. But anyway, appreciate y'all for tuning in. Let's see, today's Saturday, right? I really need to finish up the December readings. I really need to do that. So I don't know if I'm going to have an all signs done today or not. I might do some kind of all signs, but I need to get those December readings done. So I'm going to make it a really strong point to dedicate today. I only got like 3, don't I? Let me see where I'm at. Where am I at? Yeah, I just got 3 left. So, all right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. I'm going to have to get Leah up here shortly. I will see you all sometime later on today on my main channel. Y'all enjoy the rest of your day.